Hello students, how are you? Welcome again in this video. And today we are going to study about same chapter, chapter first. And this is the last and third video of chapter first. And I hope you have understood very well previous two videos. Okay, let's start our today's session. So students, today we are going to discuss on these topics. You can see on the screen. The first main topic is Reformation. And the causes of Reformation, Martin Luther's contribution to counter-reformation and impact of Reformation. And the second main topic is Industrial Revolutions, causes of Industrial Revolutions and impact of Industrial Revolutions. And third main topic, Imperialism, causes of the for the rise of imperialism and impact of imperialism. So, first main topic is Reformation. A movement, belief, concept came to existence in the Renaissance to against the unnecessary rituals, tradition, unethical practices of Christian Catholic Church was known Reformation. So in this way, Reformation was a religious movement which was began in 16th century by leading figure Martin Luther. Yes, Martin Luther was the leading figure of Reformation, and gradually impact of this movement had on political, social and economic activities. As we discussed in the previous video that Roman Catholic Church became the main center of learning and political power, and they had royal and special patronage from the kings, and the kings and feudal system were under their control, and due to which their wealth and property increased immensely. The Pope was the supreme head of the church, and the church created their own sources of income. It also imposed taxes on the people, and the accumulation of wealth and indomitable power led to the corruption of the church. And this corruption caused the exploitation of common people. Interest of common people began to fall the Pope and activities of Pope and his office. Papacy. Papacy means the post and position of Pope came under the scrutiny of the common man, and they began to demand reforms in the church. This religious reforms movement divided the church into two parts. Firstly, those who were loyal to the Pope, and second, those who were broke away from Roman Catholic Church to form a new branch of Christianity. And those who broke away and became the follower of new faith were known as Protestant. And our next point is causes of Reformation. There were many reasons emerged to the Reformation in Roman Catholic Church. As I told you that Christian Catholic Church started their own unethical practices and supported them, due to which their reputation undermined it, or we can say that their reputation questioned. The church started to earn money from their own sources, such as they started the selling of indulgence to common people. But what is the indulgence? Indulgence was considered a letter of pardon and a symbol of salvation from one's sins. The church preached that anyone who bought a letter of indulgence would be forgiven and would not have to penance for their sins. According to this practice, those who were rich people could purchase and enter to the heaven, while the poor people They, those who could not buy this indulgence, they could never be free from their sins. And it is possible in reality, students. So if you are rich, you can do anything, but you buy a letter of pardon and God will forgive you. And on other hand, but if you are poor, you can't buy indulgence and God will not forgive you. There is an injustice with poor. And Sam happened in that period. And it was incorrect, but the kings had different views regarding the practices of church. Few kings supported it and many kings came up against it. During the Renaissance, a new spirit of learning and inquiry was emerged. This spirit encouraged modern thinking was based on scientific inventions and discoveries. The invention of printing press played an important role in the Reformation, and the Bible was translated from Latin to many regional languages. Next point is Martin Luther's contribution to counter Reformation. Martin Luther was German priest, monk, and theologist, and was one of the most significant figures in Christian history. His belief helped the birth of Reformation, and in 1517 Martin Luther published his work 95 Theses. Yes, 95 Theses was written by Martin Luther. Please students keep in mind. And it is a list of questions and propositions for debate on nailed it on the church door at Wittenberg. He emphasized on the true principles of Christianity and role of faith in his thesis. And the 95 Theses, which would later become the foundation of Protestant Reformation. And the printing press also played an important role to quickly spread of his writing throughout Europe. And next point is impact of Reformation. The impact of Protestant movement changed the religious belief, practices, culture and society in Europe. And ultimately, the Protestant Reformation led to the modern democracy, capitalism, civil rights, and many modern values we cherish today. And next topic is industrial revolutions. Industrial revolutions is refers to the loud and rapid changes in social, economic, and technological sector. Industrial revolutions is defined as the changes in manufacturing and transportation that began with the fewer things being made by hand, but instead made using machines in larger scale factories. Industrial revolutions period is considered from half of the 18th century to first half of the 19th century. And during this period, there were many rapidly changes and innovations in social, economic, technological, scientifically, and commercial field. It started from England, gradually spread to Western Europe and North America. A rising population, improved transportation, and expanding domestic and international markets, and led to the development of mills. Now is causes of industrial revolutions. There were many causes of industrial revolutions, and some of which we will discuss now. The first one, transportation. Transportation is considered one of the most important causes of industrial revolutions. During the 18th century, when began the construction of canals and improved the road transport system, then revolutionary changes also took place in the transport system. Before the inventions of the railways, many difficulties were faced to carry the goods from one place to another, and it also took a long time. But with the invention of railways, improved the ease and speed to carry goods from one place to another, and this was made possible by the invention of steam engine in 1782 by James Watt, and later George Stephenson created the first model of a locomotive engine. So he is regarded as the father of railways. With the improvement of railway network, the industrial development also started because railway played a vital role to transport of the raw material and finished goods to their proper place. Water transport was also developed during this period. Steamships also began to be used as a large scale, and road transport also improved and was constructed many durable roads, and roads were covered with coal tar to make the surface of the road smooth and even. And next point, and you can see the picture. The first steam engine was invented by James Watt. The Watt steam engine alternative known as the Boulton and Watt steam engine. Yes, the Matthew Boult was also the partner of James Watt, and the Watt steam engine was one of the driving force of industrial revolutions. And in second one, the first model of locomotive engine was invented by George Stephenson. The first locomotive engine built by George and his son Robert Stephenson. Robert Stephenson and Company, the first steam locomotive to carry passenger on a public rail line. So he was called the father of railway. Now next point is coal and iron. Coal and iron both are which natural resources which we get from inside the earth. Iron was most important to make various types of machines, and coal as a sources of cheap fuel. England had large quantities of coal and iron, and new techniques were developed to manufacture of iron and utilization of the vast reserves for coal. Steam engine and many other machines required coal and iron in large quantities, and thus the rapid growth of numerous industries began in England due to the availability of vast reserves of iron and coal. And next is scientific inventions. As we have discussed about the scientific inventions in the previous video, England became the leading center of the industrial revolutions with the invention of the spinning and weaving machine, like the flying shuttle and spinning jenny. In 1769, Richard Arkwright invented a spinning frame which was named water frame because it worked with the power of water, and other inventors such as Eli Whitney from America invented a machine known as the cotton gin, which separated cotton fiber from seeds. And in 1846, Elias Howe from USA invented the first modern lock-stitched sewing machine, which was brought a revolutionary changes in textile industries. And thus, with the help of all these machines and techniques, of cloth making was perfected and improved the quality of cloths. Okay, next point is causes for the rise of imperialism. There were many reasons to rise imperialism as are follows. The first one is economic causes. Industrialized nations adopted imperialism to fulfill their industrial requirement because these acquired colonies were the good and cheap source of raw material, and when the finished goods were produced on a large scale in factories, then the acquired colonies were further converted into markets for the and where these manufactured goods were sold at a higher price. For example, India was a major producer and exporter of cotton textile till the 18th century, but it fell to a position of importer of cotton textile, and cheap labor were also provided by these acquired colonies. And next point is military causes. Every imperialist country was worried about its own national security. The competition among imperialist power was vicious and cunning, and every country wanted to gain military advantage over its rivals. In the order to fulfill their selfishness, they used these colonies as a strong military base, and these colonies provided safe harbor for naval vessels and served as coaling station which helped the imperialist nation in the times of war. And next is political causes. Industrialized nation not only wanted to fulfill their industrial objectives but also wanted to establish their political dominance, and this belief promoted to imperialism. Industrialized nations conquered weaker nations and exercised political authority over them. Acquired colonies became the status symbol for imperialist nations, and the countries that had more acquired colonies, they were considered more powerful and prestigious, and their political dominance was greater. Next point is social causes. The European nations considered themselves as a superior race and morally prosperous than Asian and African countries, and There, this ideology is confirmed by the Rudyard Kipling's poem White Man's Burden. Thus, these imperialist nations established their dominance over social life of acquired colonies. And next point is religious causes. As we know that almost European countries were declared Christianity as their state religion. So these nations used imperialism as a mean to spread Christianity throughout the world. And next point is technological causes. Industrialized nation had more technology and medical facilities. So these nations used it as a powerful weapon to control over the colonies, such as in a medical field, the invention of quinine helped the Western nations survive tropical disease in their colonies in Asia and Africa. And apart from this, these countries had more technological sources such as steamboat, telegraph, and repeating firearms. They used these sources to increase their mobility and enabled them to respond quickly in situations. Next topic is impact of imperialism. There are different views regarding the impact of imperialism. Some historians and scholars favor to imperialism and they believed that imperialism contributed to the development of colonies, and whereas on the other hand, some scholars and historians are criticized of the Western imperialism. They consider imperialism to be the reason of exploitation, degradation, and racial segregation. And the first point is political impact. In this point, we will discuss about the positive and negative impact of imperialism. A Western concept introduced first time in India such as democracy and nationalism and democracy, nationalism and an effective and efficient system of administration. There were also development works in the field of railways and means of communication such as post and telegraph, united the people in colonies. However, the imperialist countries carried out development works in these colonies but neglected the interests of native living there. They were not allowed to participate in the administration and were not given any higher post. Imperialism also promoted the slave trade and the slaves were purchased and sold as a property. They were forced to work in inhuman conditions, and all imperialist nations were at war with each other to expand their power and dominance. For example, the Anglo-French War and the French trading companies from India. Now, next point is economic impact. Imperialism led to the establishment of industrialization in colonies of Asia and Africa. Many factories were established in these colonies by Europeans. These colonies became the main sources of raw material and the large quantities of raw material were exploited there. Local industries, trade and commerce were exploited and heavy taxes imposed to them, due to which led to drain of wealth and it contributed to the backwardness of colonies. And next point is social impacts. Imperialism most impacted the society of these colonies as well as their religious and traditional beliefs. People were tempted to adopt the Christianity. Many Christian missionaries were established here and they offered materials and benefit to people and also provided services such as hospitals and schools. The Western nation considered themselves as superior races and tried to impose their culture on the local people, and they promoted racial segregation and carried forward to this diplomacy. And the Britishers followed the policy of divide and rule, and the result of which we all have seen as the partition of India in 1947.
So students, our first chapter is over and I hope you have understood very well. Okay, listen student, one thing. Now you are in 8th class. So question answers will not provided by teacher. You have to prepare by yourself. But if you are having some problem, I am always ready and you can ask me questions after opening the school. Okay, let's meet in another video. Okay, bye.